Cognitive process of learning. In this part, we try to understand how is information processing. At the first, we need to mention that this model was developed or created in 1960s, focused on the structure and function of mental processing within a specific context, environment, or ecologies. This model tried to understand the mind as a computer that describes all the components in three different stages to try to understand it. The three stages or components are structural, strategic, or executive. The structural is information that be processed at particular stage. The strategic is how you control the operation of various stages, and executive how the activities are overseen and monitored. In summary, all the information that processing with this model recognize a lot of information, and this information are incorporating components or different stages in order to improve or approve adjustments to generate motivation and achievements in all their students.
Memory. The information processing model refers to memory. Memory is required to retain information in mind. It is the result of complex cognitive operations. There are three stages of information storage: sensory memory, short-term memory, and long-term memory. Sensory memory is the first stage of memory. Its purpose is to give our brain time to process incoming information. Sensory memory is not consciously controlled. We subconsciously and continuously gather information from the environment through our five senses. Our brain only holds information for a very brief period of time, no longer than a second. In order for that information to be retained for longer, it has to continue onto short-term memory. Short-term memory, also known as active memory, holds information we are currently thinking about. Like sensory memory, short-term memory holds information temporarily. It only stores our interpretation of the image. The information will only kept for approximately 20 to 45 seconds. Paying attention to the information and processing it allows it to continue into long-term memory. Long-term memory refers to the storage of the information over an extended period of time. It's all the memory we hold for periods longer than a few seconds. The information can last for hours, days, months, or even years. There are two main types: explicit memory and implicit memory. Explicit memory are those experiences that can be intentionally or consciously remembered. For example, facts, data, episodes, events, concepts, and so on. Implicit memory refers to the knowledge that we cannot consciously access. It is remembering without awareness. For example, we might remember how to ride a bike or walk, but it is difficult to us to explain how we do it.
Working memory is a temporary, simultaneous storage mechanism in which people use and make sense to the information in the development of complicated tasks. There is a fundamental characteristic that is combining and manipulating information to perform relevant tasks. In that case, working memory has a time limit of 10 to 20 seconds and a capacity of 7 to 9 units of information. Concerning working memory model, it was changed according to the time. At the first time, it was divided into two subsystems. The first is phonological loop and the visual spatial sketchpad. At the second time, it was included one more subsystem called episodic buffer. The two first subsystems refers to the visual and verbal information, while the last subsystem integrates all the information in an episode.
The central executive is the most important component of working memory. Its function is to coordinate the manipulation and flow of information between parts of the cognitive system. Between its functions are selecting what stimulus or task to attend to, switching attention, ignoring distraction, sequencing activities, and evaluating performance. Working memory improves throughout childhood, adolescence, and early adulthood, and then declines in older adults. Many classroom activities require students to use working memory processes to perform learning tasks or solve problems that have demands more complex than simple recalling knowledge. One working memory activity students can perform in class is say aloud a sequence of randomly selected numbers and ask a partner to repeat the numbers aloud in reverse order. To know how many numbers in sequence can the partner correctly say in reverse order.